to a brand new chapter, Nationalism in Europe. The chapter name is fully The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. So we have seen about the rise of nationalism in India in the previous chapter which we have seen in history. So in that chapter we have seen a lot things like how an nation has been formed, how the peoples were being united together, how the peoples were being brought together through different movement, and that movement encouraged or that movement helped the nation to be formed. Similarly, in this chapter we are going to see about Europe and European nations like the German, Britain, Italy, all these nations, how they have unified their own nations. So that is what is about this chapter. Before getting into the chapter, here will be continuously going on with one particular thing, that is you will be knowing about a nation. So nation means, what is an nation? What is a nation? Nation is an thing which describes about a particular aspect. Like if a classroom means just in physical environment alone will not give an proper classroom. It needs the teacher, student, and the physical or the infrastructure which we call. So all together it is known as the classroom environment. Similarly, in this nation also, when a nation state is being formed, you will be continuously going on with these words in this chapter, that is formation of a nation state. So this nation is being formed through three important aspects. That is, first thing if you see is the ruler and proper administrator. Then you will see about the uh, rules and regulations which is there. Then the proper ruler you can find, then the population and the boundary. So these three things are very important for a nation to be formed. So this nation states are being formed through different aspects. So we'll see that in the coming things. Okay, so if you see here in this chapter, so in this chapter we are going to see about the European nations who and all have involved themselves in the nation state formation. So that is what is about this chapter. So you can find that this chapter will have this picture. If you take your book, at the first page of your book, you will find this picture which is being present. So this picture, which consists of lot of things, this is a portrait which has been drawn by Frederick Soros in the year of 1848. So this will be asked for 1 mark question, student. So it has been drawn, or it has been portrayed by Frederick Soros in the year of 1848, and he visualized or he dreamt means you will be seeing in English like dreaming, past tense of dreaming, dreamt that the worldwide is being struggling to get democratic form of government. It is trying to get even a social republic similar to the democratic form of government it is. Okay, so they are trying to find out a solution for their own problem, where they may have a dictatorship form of a rule, or they may have a territorial problem with other aspects. If you take in unifications, we'll study in this chapter. Take Italy has been divided into different territories, and different territories were being under the control of different rulers. Okay, and different European nations itself ruled it. So all has to get out of those domination and unite themselves and form an united nation of Italy. Similarly, Britain was also not united. It had so many activities and action which has been taken in order to bring the unification of Britain. So he is dreaming that these nations or these European nations are trying to unite themselves through the process of the freedom or liberalization, can be said as liberalization or liberty. Liberalization means making them free. So through that process he is dreaming, but actually he is bringing the picture of Europe during that time, how it was. And this is the first portrait which has been, or first printed aspect which has come into the existence and in the series, and shows that the people of Europe and Americans, without any discrimination of caste, creed, or color, or even based on gender, they don't have any kind of differences, or even social classes. They all have joined together and they are coming together to attain a particular goal or a destiny of liberty. That is what is the main concept behind this chapter. And here you can see that these peoples are been moving in a line. Can you see? From here you can see they are moving in a line holding different color flags, and they are moving towards a statue. This statue is known as the French Revolution professionalized liberal aspect, or liberal aspect of female figure. So this is a female figure which represents the liberty. So this female figure has an important thing in its hand. You can notice that it has an torch bearing here and an charter over here. That is the very important thing behind this. So if you see, this torch is the enlightenment. Enlightenment means like Buddha has got enlightenment under the tree of bamboo, or like that we'll say, no. So like that, enlighten means a different way of thinking was developed among the people, and that is called as enlightenment. They had started analyzing and seeing everything, thinking in a rationalistic manner was developed among the people. And here you can see a charter. Charter is like, it will be like this. You can find maximum in movies and the other areas we might have seen. So this how the charter will be, and this will be made out of vellum. Vellum means animal skin, which we have studied, right? So here you can find it will have the content which will be written. So that has an content of the rights of the men has been described in that. So right of a man has been described. So that means that much level of improvement has been attained by the people for the development, like they are the stage of next level of development. Okay, so whole earth has been struggling for liberty. And here Frederick Soares says that on the earth, in an foreground of the image, lies that the scatter remains of the symbol of absolute institution. Absolute institution means here everywhere he is able to see the government or a system that is ruling on and restrain on the power existing. So they are utilizing the power just for an domination power. It is referring the monarchical form of government or an dictatorship form of government. That is what he says. So fully he can find only these things which is existing. And he says that we the people, the utopian visions, that is, the utopian visions means the society is so idle that it unlike to act the existing. So he says it is idle, simply it is, and it is not even acting towards what is existing. So that is how the people are around us, and the world is being grouped as in distinct nations, and they have designed or they have identified their own flags and national customs. So this has been started leading the process or leading them to the way of the Statue of Liberty, or the United States and the Switzerland by which you can find they were been already the nation state. They were been before itself an nation state. And the other things like France was identifiable with its own French Revolution. You might have studied in your ninth standard, like they were been trying to get revolutions because of Louis XVI's administration, and fed up with those kind of administration, you can find they have started improving their own condition to fight against the ruler, and that is how they have started, and this has reached the status of liberty. And she, mostly the nations will be referred with she because we call them as mother nations. So she refers to the nations, she of like Germany, and those time you can find other nations were also not a nation state. Particularly Germany is being described here. It has been described here. Why? What is the reason? Is that it is the first nation to suffer a lot. So this nation along it had developed its own flag like black, red and golden color flag, and started moving towards the Statue of Liberty. And the portrait who has been there, the Swarek, says that the German people did not yet exist as a nation state. Still they are struggling as a nation state even after developing their own flags, but they have the hope, and they will be unified. Because why, Germans were not unified sooner? They had different language speaking over there, like numerous German speaking principles were being there in the state itself, and that is the reason they were not able to unite. And that along with Germany can find in the first, they says that the first thing, that is black, red and golden color is Germany, and that is being followed by different other kingdoms, other nations like Austrian kingdom, Sicily, Lebanon, all they have started following. Lebanon, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary, Russia, all have started following them. And here you can find a different thing that is portrayed. That is, you can find the people over here have been attained an destination, and they all are happy. They feel that they are in the heaven. Heaven means Swargam. So they feel like once you are attaining the liberty, then the freedom, or you were being considered as an happiest person in the world. So that is what this portrait has been describing. So this says that in the heaven you can find the Christian, the God Christian is there, right? That is the God. And you can find certain other things also, like angels are also present over there. These angels are being considered as the greatest gift, right? So they have been symbolizing the fraternity of the nation, fraternity of the nation in a very well manner. And this chapter has been described shortly by Frederick Soros with his visualization and which is with his dream. And in this chapter we'll be seeing about the 19th centuries, how the nation started emerging as an full-fledged nation by sweeping out the political and the dictatorship form of government. Like mentality of whole Europe is about dictatorship, so that has been ended. And as a result of this, you can find it has led to the emerging of the nations formation. So multiple dynasties were been ruling the European nations. So now you can find the concept of the modern state has emerged, where they have the centralized power, one particular person as a leader. And this centralized power will be controlling the entire territory under its control, and it will develop the overall development of the European nations. So this nation state has been majorly about the citizens, and not only about the rulers. It even says about the development, the sense of the common identity, and the sharing of history and concern. So, this is about the existing immemoriality aspect of the nation formation. This even says the actions of the leaders and the common peoples, how they have acted, reacted towards the formation of a nation state. And this chapter is fully about the nation state formation and nationalism in the year of 19th century. So 19th century, or till that time you can find no nation have formed their own nation except United States and Switzerland. Other nations were being like territories which are being ruled under the other rulers. So now they are trying to get independent and become the nations of each areas. Like German want to become a nation, Lebanon want to become a nation, Hungary want to become a nation, Russia want to become a nation, England want to become a nation. Like that, they want their own identity, which is also the common people's identity. So this is what is about the introduction of this chapter. So the remaining things I'll explain you in the next class, students. So thank you.